Hello, everyone. Before I introduce myself, I just want to see the energy in the room. And I removed the table because it was like my height and you couldn't see me. Okay, who likes Pictionary? Who likes Big Bang Theory? Awesome. So let's play some Pictionary before the talk. All right, guess. Nothing? A picture? Okay. Very specific. All right. A what? A pizza. All right then. What kind of pizza are you eating? Is it? What? Is it a chocolate chip cookie? Because if, like Sheldon would say, it is an observational rebuttal of the lambda CDM model of the universe. I did mug up that. All right then. So coming back, I also had a meme here, but like I forgot to do that. But here I'm Pooja Bhaumik. I am a GD for Flutter and Google, basically working in Unicards as a senior engineer. I'm coming all the way from India. 4 days back, I didn't know if I was even coming because I didn't get my visa. But here I am, really in front of all the audience. And I think it's been 3 years since my first, like, since the last physical conference technical talk. And in these 3 years, I have had like great love and respect from the online audience, which is where they just saw the slides and just the box, the face. So I know that this is a hybrid conference and they are there, like there are 1,000+ people. So yeah, no pressure. But I do want to like say hi to the online audience in a different way because I just saw the YouTube link and y- probably there's just the slides in there. So I just wanted to show them the face as well. So hello to the online audience here. So here, welcome to the talk for the Snapchat filters with CustomPainter and MLKit. And here is the audience. Maybe I should take a selfie. All right, thank you so much. All right, so who are like knew about the talk in a way and like had seen my Twitter post like yesterday and he knew this was about the Snapchat filters and this. Okay, are you here for the mathematics? Like to understand how the Snapchat filters are done in a way. Are you anybody here for that? Somebody just like raise the hand like this. All right, because okay, that's great because I love maths. I understand maths very well. Tan theta is like my favorite thing to do in the summers, but I'm also a brown skinned Indian, so probably not so much. And by that, you probably understand that how well I understand maths. So this talk is not about the maths magic. It is going to be about how we can basically use or like add the custom painter or like some kind of magic on the custom painter on using MLKit in your Flutter app. So if you're here for the maths, stay please. All right, so let's just see what are we going to basically covering here. So here, the first one is like detecting the face contours with MLKit, and they do a great job. There is a package for it. So basically, it kind of tells you the structure of your face in a way. And once you have figured that out, you do some calculations to fit your prop on your face. So it could be the hat, like I showed, or it could be sunglasses, or maybe a lip color, whatever it is. Once you have figured out the face contours, the eye contours, or whatever, you can basically place some object on top of it. But yeah, of course, if you do not know the calculations, please do call your maths friends because that's what I did, because I am pretty bad at trigonometry and that's what I needed here. And once you have figured out the calculations and the given or the desired coordinates, you basically paint the prop on that given coordinates in the canvas. But what are we going to be exactly covering? Not all these three, because the first part, I actually just took up the sample project from the MLKit GitHub project and just it basically did all the magic in the sample project itself. I just changed the painting part of it, so not much to show there. And calculations, I mean, I do not want to embarrass myself in a global audience, of course, so I will not talk about exact calculations, how it basically the things worked out, but I will be talking about the basic sense of it, but not deep dive into it. And of course, the last part will be the canvas, which is where we are going to be discussing more about how the Flutter canvas is basically working, or like how we do basically do the custom painting on the canvas, etc. So this is probably going to be like a beginner talk on the custom painter part, and also at the end of the talk, you should be able to understand how to do the Snapchat filter part. All right, so talking about canvas, of course, Flutter does have great widgets to do a lot of things, but there are some custom things that you want to do, or the custom things that you want to paint in your Flutter app. And that's why Flutter allows you to basically paint things by giving you the access to the Canvas API. Now, if, I mean, before that, maybe how many people have worked with Custom Painter before? All right, so there are people who hasn't. So we will be basically talking a little bit about like basically how the painting even happens there. And so like any kind of physical canvas, we start painting from the top left in a way, right? Maybe. So let's just imagine that we have this as our canvas. At this point of time, this canvas is basically a 2-point coordinate system, which is represented by X and Y, because we can't just say like in an actual physical canvas when you're painting, you can say like, oh, paint a little above, paint a little below. We can't say that here. We have to give the exact coordinates that how much up and below and left and right it has to go. So that is represented by X and Y. But for that, to explain all of that, I want to invite some, like a very favorite friend of ours, which is Dash. So Dash is here to explain exactly about the coordinate system in here. And as I said, the painting has to start from a reference point. Like there has to be some origin in a way. At this point, Dash is at the origin, which is represented by x equals 0 and y equals 0. And therefore, Dash is there. Now, here we do want to say that, okay, move a little bit to the right side. So here we will basically make this as x equal to 5. Now, if you can see that the values are positive when you're going from the left to right. Now, what if Dash wants to go on the left side? So it will become x equal to -5. So if you can see, the values are now going negative from the 0 when you're going from the left to, sorry, from the origin to the left side. I'm bad with directions. So now, if I want to also see that I want to move Dash up and down. So basically, at this point, y is equal to 20. So if you can see that when you are going down, the values are going positive. Of course, it will be the opposite when you're going above the origin. So y is equal to -10. So now, what if that we want to basically place Dash in the center of this canvas? So here we basically have like 100 by 100 canvas in a way. And I know it's not really 100 by 100, but let's just pretend. So let's just see if we can move Dash to the center. Okay, where did Dash go? See, Craig, animation is happening. So coming back, so Dash is at 50-50, which is basically the center of the canvas here. So now we are basically done. We understand the coordinate system. This is like a refresher from your math class as well. But Dash's job is done, and basically we have to say bye bye to it because we want to move over to some more complex stuff. So bye bye, Dash. Oh, actually, not yet. So before I actually say bye bye to Dash, I actually forgot to mention that, like, how did we even move Dash to the center, or how did we move to the fifth X, or like Y, changing that in a way. So we have the Canvas API, which basically has something called like a draw something, where in this case draw dash is not an actual API, but it could be like a draw circle, draw rectangle. So in this case draw dash, and it basically, usually you will say that it will start at offset of 0 0, where it's kind of like, okay, the initial is 0 0, but hey, we want to move it to certain X and Y, and that is why we need offset. Let's say, can you just like set the object to the like off by X and Y values in a way. So in this case, right now dash is at offset of 50/50. So that's basically how you can actually move your object to a certain X and Y coordinate value. So now I think dash can basically leave. Oof, what an exit. All right. So, like, coming back to now the custom paint class. So let's just go and like do some coding here and see what we actually understand from it. All right. So here I'll just run this in a way, and here we basically have a hello. So I'm just trying to run that. Let's see. While we are waiting, do you want to see the demo again? Is it even running? I think it's running somewhere. Yeah. All right. So at this point, you basically can like wrap this up with a custom paint widget. All right. So like here, it basically has few properties here. So like here, you kind of have the foreground painter, the painter, and the child. The child, as you can see, is the hello one. Then you have the foreground painter and painter. Now they are placed in kind of like a stack. So let's explain this. So here you basically have, suppose, the child. Okay. Then below it comes the painter, custom paint, and above the child comes the foreground painting. So basically, if you want to have some complex painting where you have the child and there's some painting happening like beyond it, and like some happening above it, you can basically use this. So in this case, this is the child, the painter, and the foreground painter. Now, we also have another property, which is the size. Now, at this point, like if size is given as width 10 and height 10, and the child is given as width 50 and height 50, what do you think will be the size of the custom painter? Any guesses? Sorry? Huh? The what? Is it 50 or 10? 10. All right. So what happens is that when you have a child which has some size, this size property is completely discarded. So in this case, the size is going to be 50/50 of the custom paint, the canvas, sorry. So the size of the canvas is going to be 50/50. But if your child is not present, then in that case, the size is going to be the 10/10. So here, so in this case, you understand about now the how the canvas is sized. So as I said, it reduces to 10 to 10. Now coming back to the paint thing. So here, if you can see, let me just go to the custom painter class, because here we are giving some kind of a class called demo foreground painter and a demo background painter. So here you just basically extend it to the custom painter class, and you get like two overridden methods called the paint and the should repaint. Paint is where you basically define what you're painting, and should repaint is one that basically decides that, hey, when do you want me to repaint it? So if you have some dependencies like suppose in the Snapchat app, in a way, when the face changes, you want it to repaint it, right? Because the face is changing. So at that point of time, that is where you basically want the paint to be called again. So now in the paint class is where you do actually do some drawing stuff. And the size, as I said, we discussed that how the size is calculated is actually, now you get the size. So in case you want to do some work or calculations on the size. So in this case, we basically, let's see what is, right now we have a container and all that. Let's just give it a size of, suppose, 100 or something. All right. So in this case, we basically can maybe draw like a rectangle on that boundaries, basically that of the size. So something like, we have the rect here, which we kind of give the left and the top, which is 0 0. Okay, and the size of the width and size height. And in this case, there is an API called canvas.drawRect, and here we given the rect object, and then we have the paint. Now what is exactly the paint here? Let me also run this. All right, so we have some 100 by 100 object, 100 by 100 drawn on the canvas. Now, what is this paint? So basically, when you're drawing something, you have paint brushes as well, right? And there are different sizes paint brushes. In a way, you have the smaller one, the thinner one, the like it's differently sized and differently colored as well, right? So in this case, paint is that object where you define your properties, how the painting is going to be happening on the canvas. So in this case, you have like the color, which could be black, the stroke width, where in this case, if this was like not filled, like if the painting style was actually stroke, the width actually would be 5, or I can change it to 1. So there are other properties as well. So if you can see, this is the color, the stroke width, the style, as I showed. You can also invert the colors. You can also decide the stroke cap, that okay, I want something smoother edge on the line, in a way. So then you also have the color filter, there's a blend filter, so many more. So this is the paint object you need. Whenever you're drawing something, you need the paint object. So I'm just going to be putting this out and into a variable. All right. So now we actually did the boundaries. So let's see what else we can do. So here you can actually also do the center. I'm just going to increase the thing here to maybe 200. All right. So here you can also do a circle or something. So here basically what you can do is that your circle is one, you want to place it at the center of your canvas. So you get the size, you get the center, of course, size by 2, and then you have an API called canvas draw circle. Now here the offset is the center dot width and center dot height, which is size by 2. So here, and this is the radius. So you want like a bigger circle, 20, 30, whatever. And then you gave the paint object. So here you created the circle here. I'm just going to make it fill again. And that is going to fill everything. So here we have something painted on that looks like some flag that I cannot recognize, but sure. All right, so here you have the rect, then you have the circle. You can even build like concentric circles if you want to. So here you basically do some kind of a while loop, and then you keep on building the concentric. Okay, here the paint is supposed to be stroke. So here you basically have the concentric circles that also you can build. I mean, try doing that with a circle avatar if you want. So then you have what else? You can basically also have, as I showed, the rect. You can create like a box here. I'll just remove this one. And if you want, you can also create a chessboard if you want to. So if you want. So if you want to do all that, so you can do a chessboard as well. Then the same thing here is basically doing a draw a rect, and there are the points that you have mentioned are from the first offset to the diagonal offset in a way, and then you can also draw paths. So here if you have the to draw a triangle, then you can have the path object where it says that, hey, move first to 0 0, then move the xy to 50 0, and then move the xy to 50 50, and that will create a triangle. So let's see that. So here you have the triangle here, and similarly you can also do 2D of triangles as well, just like you did for the chessboard. So here you can do this exact same thing where you create this unique chessboard. So there are a lot of APIs that you can play with. There's so many more, but this is most of the things that, I mean, we do not even need for the app. I just like showing it that what are the possibilities that you can do here. So let's see. We basically now are, it's the time to introduce the MLKit magic. All right, so I'm just going to run the app. All right. So before it's running, this is basically what you get when you're running the sample project of MLKit. So here you are going to get the contours of your face in a way. You will probably get your eyes, nose, lips, whatever you want, right? So now if you can like notice, I actually created like these blue dots because that's what my forehead reference line could be, because I wanted to basically place my hat on top of my head in a way. If I wanted to do like sunglasses or something like that, I probably have the contours on my eyes in a way and then basically place it there. So in a way, I think this is running. So if you can see, this is basically what is happening in my face. And I want to also do the reference line now. So let's see what we can do for the reference line. I'm just going to do a draw line. Now what happens is that here you have a draw line, and then you have the offset of the left point, if you can see the left blue point and the right blue point. So I'm just drawing a line between that. And if I run it, I'm pretty scared of doing this live because I don't know when it will like disconnect and all, but sure. Did it run? No. Oh, right. So I actually did not run the method. All right. So if you see now, you don't see it. Yeah. So if you see now, there is a line on top of my forehead, which is basically connecting those two blue points. And now I want to place my hat on top of that line in a way. So here, if you can see, I actually figured out my reference path. And now I have to place my hat on the reference line in a way. Now, at this point, if I actually place just the hat, It's going to be, so let's see. So if you can see, it is placed, but when I am moving my head, it is not moving with my head. It's still straight. I mean, so it's basically placed there, and I've also I've added this here, but there's an offset as well because it should actually, sorry, technically it should actually start from the top left of the point. Where the top left is actually it's the 0 point, and 0 point is actually in the center, and the image is starting at the top left of that particular point, so that's why it's placed little below on my face. So if I move it here, whatever, it's like bull rubbish there. But now I added up basically an offset here, that okay, this is my image size or something, so move the hat a little above my face. So this is what is happening, but it's not basically rotating with my face. And that's where I needed trigonometry. I hate it. I hate it. I had to really call my friends that, okay, what is this sine theta, cos theta? I mean, I did study science and everything, but what is this cos theta, sin theta, tan theta, whatever theta? So, what exactly is happening is that once, if I showed you this, once you basically found the reference point, you have to find the angle of tilt from the straight line in a way. So here, what is that angle here? And you want to like place your the hat at that angle in some way, right? So once I figured out the rotation theta, I actually figured out that in Canvas, I hope I'm not wrong, but there was no way to actually rotate an image. But I found a way to basically rotate the canvas itself. So I mean, I am not an expert in custom painter, so this is what I figured out, that you can actually rotate the canvas. So once I've got my theta, after calling my friends about trigonometry lessons, I ran this, and let's see how that goes. All right, look at that. It's jumping around my head. I mean, it's a windy day after all. So, what exactly happens now? Now, the rotation is like maybe happening, working, whatever, but I'm just going to remove the circles as well because this is annoying. Right. So now what I could not tell you the maths behind it. I figured out is that if you can transverse your canvas to that point, to that first calculated point of your reference point or the forehead point, it actually worked. So what I did is that what it basically means is that, hey, translate your origin to a random point in the coordinate system instead of where the origin is supposed to be. So here, once I did that, I actually do not even have to do this x and y values anymore. I can actually start from the offset 0, because now my offset is at the point where where the reference point is starting from. And of course, I have the offset for the image as well, because it is still going to be starting from the top left and it will be below my head. So I'm just going to move it up above a bit. And now let's see. I can't tell you how I figured it out. But so basically there were some like calculations done, and if I can show you that you basically figure out the angle, and because the straight line is your one reference point and the tilt is one another reference point, somehow some people mathematician can find out the angle between them. So once you have figured it out, you just have to figure out that, okay, that is the angle that your hat is also have supposed to be tilted, right? So in the same way, your sunglasses or anything in a way basically also have to be tilted at that same angle in a way. So yeah, if you're very good with maths, imagine the thing that you can actually do without actually calling your friends. So I'm probably going to go back and get some math lessons again, but because this is very cool that what are the other things that you can do. And I know that there are like a lot of other packages that can do the Snapchat filter thing in a way, but doing this from scratch in custom painter sounds really really amazing. So I think you should go back and use your great math skills to figure out a better way to do this as well and more accurate, because I'm pretty sure this is not like super accurate in a way. But because there's also another thing is that you would want to like reduce the hat size according to the distance, right? So at this point the hat size is exactly the same, but I did not have the time to figure that out yet. So I'm maybe in the next talk. So I think that's mostly the talk about. So we talked about that, but also you can also add color filters to your canvas, because all these Snapchat, Instagram thing do have these filter colors in a way. And this is basically what was also posted on my Twitter yesterday, that you can also add the color filters. And the code for that would be just a canvas.draw color, and just specify the color that you want. I wanted to make it blue because Vikings. So, but whatever. So in this case, this is now blue blue. All right. Oh, there's messages my denim as well. So now I think that's most of the things that we actually talked. I have content for in this talk. Thank you so much. That was me, Pooja Bhamik, trying to understand Custom Painter with this talk and showing you how Snapchat filters are made in Flutter.